5, 4, 3, 2, go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Corporate Detox Podcast.
We are here. We are here.
Yes.
Hosted by myself, Ayana, and
And me, Tanisha. Hey, everybody. It's so funny. We're laughing, but this is not a funny topic. But we're gonna bring us to it at all times. We're going to
definitely.
talk about detoxing from corporate America, and we want
Hmm.
to welcome everyone to the first of what will be many episodes where we
Yes.
handle what we dealt with in corporate America, the reality of the real corporate America, and how
Hmm.
you can reclaim yourself.
Yes. 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 And yes.
Absolutely. So this is a safe space. Okay. This is a safe space for us to really kind of get things off of our chest, to re-examine some things that we've been taught, right?
Hmm.
To re-examine things that we thought internally, were told externally, those one-on-one meetings.
Hmm.
Always hated those. Okay.
We're gonna detox from it all, baby. We're gonna
De-
detox from it all.
exactly. And so Ayana and I, okay, let's back up a little bit. Now, this is my homegirl over here, and we've been knowing each other for almost 20 years because I remember meeting you in 2007 in Atlanta, right?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And we worked together with three companies, none of which shall be named.
No, we won't name them. We won't
We
name
not
them.
naming. Listen,
When we
they gave us
describe
our
them,
check,
you
and
probably gonna know who
they're
they
not giving us no other checks, so they will not be
That's
named.
it. When we get a check, we'll name them.
Right? Where's my check? Where's my check at?
Huh.
So we're just two women with over, God, like more than a half century.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, child,
Yeah,
we owe.
yeah. Because
We
I think
owe.
I've been in corporate. If you count college, I've been in corporate 20 something years.
Yeah.
No, it's over 20 years. It's 30 years.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
same what? Yeah, if you count college for me, over 30 years. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, we have decades and decades of valuable experience. We are also, of course, Gen Xers, right?
Yes.
Generation X. Hello, 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 hello. So we have some valuable insights to share and about our corporate experiences, but more importantly, we really want to talk about how we can transition and how
Mhm.
we've shifted from all that and how we have become our true authentic selves outside of corporate America.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think Gen Xers right now we're in that phase of life where we're transitioning anyway. And corporate work seems to be going along with that, but then we also are that generation where we're kind of lost, kind of forget about us, they kind of dismiss us,
Yeah.
but we still here, we still out here in these streets, and we ain't going nowhere.
Right.
But on a serious, there's so much that we have experienced, both good and bad, because there's good and bad to corporate life. But a lot of times the bad outweighs the good. And we want to share how we can detox from that bad, embrace the good, and take those experiences and blossom in new ways.
I love it. That is perfect. I think that's perfect. And that's a perfect segue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Into the corporate reality. Now listen, you got what your handbook says, okay? You
Yes.
got what that HR handbook says, which you get at the orientation.
Yeah. That handbook that's meant to protect the company and the organization, but not
Ex-
necessarily you.
exactly. But then you have the real deal Holyfield, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what
Hmm.
let's talk a little bit, Ayana, about our corporate realities.
Okay.
You want to
Um,
start first? Or you-
certainly, Tanisha. Let me let me let me wipe this little tear out my eye.
You're crying already. Hold on.
Girl, look.
Let me get my tissue too.
Tears of joy, baby. Tears of joy. Okay,
I love
so one of the realities I came, and especially fitting for this scenario right here, is that I was working for a very well-known company that provided home improvement products. And I recall there was this major project, right? And there was an individual that was there that was not pulling her weight. And so they needed to make a switch. They also wanted to get this individual out the company. But I didn't realize that I was being manipulated and used to accomplish a goal. Okay. And they guised it as, and we're going to hit on this topic. This is why it's fitting for this conversation. Because I was a producer and even on my worst day, I was high producing. Okay.
Right.
They used me without me really realizing what was happening, because they slick with it. A lot of times they used me. They told me how they valued my work and how much I brought to the table, and that they wanted to move me over to give me greater responsibility. And the way that greater responsibility ended up looking for me, it alienated me from a coworker. It appeared, and I've experienced this a couple of times, but this is a pressure because another one is popping up in my mind now. But that created some fallout and tension in the workplace. Me being the scapegoat, okay? Seeming as if I went after someone's job, which I did not. I was simply asked to take on this work because it needed to get done. And I was used as a tool. And not only was I used as a tool for a very manipulative move they made against another employee, they also gave me more work. So I ended up doing not just my new job, but I ended up doing my old job. And when I was told to, oh, well, wait, let me know if they're asking you to do this extra stuff. And then when I like, hey, look, once again, I got to step in and take up the slack of what this person isn't doing. And then what happened? Oh, well, you should let me know. But in the meantime, just ask them to give you more money because you are doing two jobs. That very thing was used, the whole thing about the additional money. When I finally went and asked for it, as I was directed to do by a manager, that very thing was used against me later on. And so more work, it looks like trust, dependability, all the things they tell you that you need to be. But if you're that person, you're just going to be that person. I'm that person. That's just regardless. But then they will take that and they will use that. And there are different iterations of it, depending on what company you are, what the culture is or whatever. But that was my reality check. I was like, hold up. And now you mean to tell me, now you're going to come at me because I asked for some more money and now y'all are using that against me when you done had me doing two jobs. And I think I did two jobs for about 6 months. My old job and the new job.
And really, it's like, where's the money? Yeah. Run me the money. But do you think, Ayana, like telling your story, and and I'm familiar with this particular person, this particular. Now, listen, I'm familiar with the people and the company, which we're not gonna name them. But do you think now, for our audience is we talk to Black women, right? We're talking to Black women. However, these experiences are not limited to Black women, but do you feel like Black women are used as a corporate scapegoat?
Absolutely. That scenario, as I told this story, this is the first time Tanisha knows this story. But as I just told this story, I can account for at least 2 other instances that are very similar that I can give you right now. I'll spit them off right quick if you want me to.
Go ahead, girl.
At the beginning of my career, it happened. I was working for a lighting manufacturer. And it's a different scenario. Okay. One where I spoke up for myself when I saw it happening. Give you a couple of scenarios. There was one person, I would come in at a certain time. We all had different times. They staggered us. And I was doing like customer service, a type of customer service job. They would stagger us for coverage. Well, I came in at my appointed time, but there's another coworker that needed to leave because her children got soccer or they got baseball or whatever. Okay, get somebody to cover your time. Hey, Ayana, can you cover this time for me? Sure, no problem. Not a problem at all. My work got done. Her work got done. Okay, I'm trusted. Similar scenario, same job. We had two people that would go to lunch. Did the same work I did now. On the same team, they had to break up in the team representing regions. They would go to lunch. They would be at lunch. They leave at 11 o'clock. They didn't come back till 2. But guess who was asked to cover their work?
It's like what they say, raise a finger, raise a finger. If
put it
right.
And so I'm like, I one day I was like, hold up. They gone for 2 hours. And I'm
you working.
You
working.
I'm working.
You working.
And at the time, I'm in my 20s. I really didn't take lunch breaks like that. I might go in the cafeteria, grab me something to eat for about 15 minutes and come on back and sit down at my desk so I can go home. I had a toddler. DJ was a toddler then, 30 now. But yes, this situation where you end up being given more work, and then when you speak up, you're like, hold up, this ain't right. Now you a troublemaker. And they love to label us as troublemakers.
Woo, child. The angry black corporate woman.
Black corporate woman. Exactly. And those things, actually, there was a point where they were trying to get me fired. I'd had surgery. This goes back to what it looks like and the negative effects of it that we're going to talk about later on. What happened is they ended up trying to fire me. I had surgery. And my doctor had me off work for about a month. And I would go pick up my check because, we didn't have direct deposit right then.
You had the physical. You had to go to the bank.
Check. Right. So my doctor's appointment, my checkup with my doctor would be time when I would go pick up my check.
Right.
Well, what happened was when I went to pick up my check this one day, I had not gone. Normally I had gone to the doctor first. This time I went to the office, picked up the check, and then was going to my doctor down the street. When I got there, I was called into an office about my lack of being at work.
And you had surgery?
I had surgery.
Hello, FMLA?
Yes. And then I had supposedly run out of vacation time, which of course I'm on FMLA at that point anyway. It didn't matter.
Right.
I had run out right when me and Isaiah got married. I worked a half a day. Went on a Friday. Me and my husband went and got married, and then we went on to our little honeymoon in Hilton Head. Okay, half a day, and then I go get married at the courthouse.
Okay,
but now we done fast forward to this surgery thing, and now I got them breathing out like, hold up. So what they were doing was trying to fire me. They were trying to put me on what we call today a PIP.
A PIP, the dreaded PIP.
But my mama had told me something. My baby boomer mama. Okay. Y'all, young folks, y'all Gen Zers and Gen Alphas, you better listen to your parents when they're telling you to do some of this old school stuff. Because some of this old school stuff is what's going to save you in the new school. My mama had told me when I first went to work, she said, you need to document everything that happens if you take time off, what time you take your lunches, if you cover for something. I don't know what made my mama tell me this. And I had documented everything. And so when they were trying to check, I said, hold up. I tell you what, I got documented. If there was an issue with me, all they had to do was say something. But I tell you what, because my manager who had done the throw a rock, tie the hand type scenario, wasn't in the office that day because I was supposed to get fired. They couldn't touch me. The next week when I went in, I
But
told
why
them
though? Because you had the receipts?
I had the receipts on them, baby girl. I
Okay.
had the receipts.
Okay.
I had the
Hey.
receipts. And when I went back in there, I had a little drawer in my kitchen. I'll never forget this. And in that drawer in the kitchen, I had a manila folder. And I had written out every time I took off, every time I covered for this coworker, every time I covered for that coworker, every time I skipped lunch to cover for a coworker, every time those coworkers that were taking like 2 and 3 hour lunches, every time I had to cover their work and do mine and theirs and how I kept it together, I had documentation of all of that.
Okay.
So when I went back, my doctor was pissed. He's like, "Oh, I'm finna write you out another month, and if they fire you, we gonna sue them. I'm gonna pay for your attorney. We gonna sue them."
See, I like that doctor.
Oh, that Walker didn't play. Love
I
him didn't
like
play.
that
He
doctor.
did not play. The next time I went back in there, 2 weeks later, I go back in there for my check. I go in there and I have this meeting with the HR director, and my director. And we sitting down, I come in there with my receipt. I said, on this date, this happened. On this date, this happened. And the thing is, some of those things that were happening, this director of our department knew. Because she knew that in one individual, her son had soccer, her daughter had baseball, another person had a cat up a tree, and they sent her home because it made the news that the fire folks was trying to get a cat out the tree. I'm covering for her. I had it all documented. I had it documented when I took off. I had documented when I didn't have any more time left. I had it documented how many hours I had worked for somebody else, which should have granted me a day off anyway because I worked an hour over. I had all that documented. So the lesson here, document.
Absolutely.
Cover your butt. It's for real when you're dealing with corporate. But what I'm saying is those little things, I could even call what that manager was trying to do a microaggression. She got ticked off because I had said, I'm not covering for these people anymore. And if I have to do it again, I'm going to go to HR because it wasn't fair to me. And I wasn't the ones that was going to lunch for 2 and 3 hours and then coming back and they buddy with her. Oh, we shutting this down.
Absolutely. I think, and that's the thing I think though. I think about our experiences. I think about, like we said, 30 years for you, 30 years for me for sure. And all the experiences that we have, and we can talk all day, definitely about those damn microaggressions. I call them macroaggressions.
Macroaggressions.
Macro, but I think that, like you said, the gen, the millennials, the gen, Y, Z, and everything else. I think that they can learn from our experiences because, baby, we've been there and done that, right? And we got the T-shirt with the holes to show for it. Okay.
Yes, we do. And since we're feral anyway, our feral upbringing, I think is what made us particularly, Gen Xers. I think to go outside and play and handle your business all day. Don't come in here crying. Pick up and dust yourself off. Go on back outside and play. I think that training and that rearing that we all had made us particularly graced for handling corporate and the dog world of corporate America and the things that we have to go with. Because some of the stuff we done went through, some of these other people, they just getting out here in it.
Yeah.
One, they ain't gonna put up with it. Two, don't have a choice to put up with it. But they'd be broken down off of it.
And that's the thing, I think, like you said, no, you had your mother and your mother told you right. And I know your mother is a mentor to you, and she's told you with her expertise, told you a lot of things and taught you a lot of things. But some people don't have that, right? So this is why people need to listen to the Corporate Detox, no matter what age you are. Okay,
we're gonna give you some gems to help you, whether you in corporate right now,
right,
and ain't ready to get out of there yet, or can't quite get out of there yet. You in corporate now, we're gonna help you with that. You are in corporate, but somebody done hit you with a layoff. We're gonna help you with that. If you got that itch and it feels like you're uncomfortable and you don't know why, we can even help you with that. The corporate detox is to help you with all the things you may encounter as a woman or man. I'm gonna say man because we got some men facts we getting ready to drop in just a second. Tanisha, I'm gonna give it back to you. We are here. Our purpose for the corporate detox is not just be on here looking cute, reminiscing about old times. It's avoid some of the things that we've had to endure in corporate America. There you go, Tanisha. Back at you, girl.
All right, girl. Well, thank you for sharing that. Man, let me see. What can I share? I think some of the same experiences you had, I think that I had. I wish in some cases that I had mine more documented. I'll be honest with you. But I was so done. I had one example at a major insurance company where I documented that I was experiencing let's say macroaggressions by a colleague. Now, this colleague we were at the same level. We're in meetings and this colleague does something totally different. We're on the same team. Okay. He is not this person was not a manager, director, direct report, none of that. Okay. We're both equal, both employees. And he was trying to tell me how to do my job. And I told him, do not tell me how to do my job. Okay. Stay in your lane. And so since people don't like when that, and I've had to do this twice, by the third time, by the second time, he then runs and tells my manager. Now, to back it up a bit, I had told my manager, look, I'm having some issues with this particular person. He is trying to micromanage me. Okay. Unfortunately, because of how corporate America is set up, my manager was a Black woman. And I had told her the mistake that I made, because I'm going to own my mistake. What I should have done was to say during our one-on-one meetings, right? Because she was relatively new with the company. So she was trying to find her footing. So she was like, well, I'd like to meet with you all, once every couple of weeks. Okay. Okay, it is what it is. What I should have done was to send that email and to say, as we discussed in the meeting. So I know better now, but I didn't do that. So what old boy did was he ran to his manager, and then she calls me and asks me, well, we need to have a meeting because I got, during our one-on-one, she mentioned this. Oh, well, such and such is, manager talked to me about an incident. And I said, the incidents that I have been telling you about? You mean those incidents? The micromanaging? And, she proceeded to, at that point, act like I didn't really talk to her about it before. And then she asked me I need you to come up with a improvement, not plan, like not a PIP, but I need you to come up with a workaround or what is your plan to manage this? Even though I'm the one who talked to you about it first. So then I had to come up with a plan to deal with the person who tried to workplace bully me. And so she's like, next week, when we meet, I'd like for you to come up with a plan of how you're going to deal with this. So I had been at this place for 5 years, and I'll be honest with you too. I was in the process of leaving. But I do wish I had used some more vacation time. I'm not even gonna lie, because
get it all in, girl.
I had 5 weeks of vacation. I did get paid for it, but it would have been nice to kind of, but during that meeting, I told her, well, absolutely not. I will not be putting together any kind of plan to deal with a workplace bully. I told you about in at least 2 to 3 incidents before all this happened. And she was shocked and amazed. And I was like, no. And I explained to her exactly why. Now, again, and at that moment, I put in my notice. At that moment. So she knew what time it was. But these are the things that we should not have to deal with. And again, I was already planning on leaving that organization. But we should not have to deal with these types of things.
That was her job. She wanted you to do her job.
Yes, she's the
Protecting you
manager.
in your role.
So, girl, they paying you, you know, all the money to manage. Why I got to come up with the plan?
And you the victim.
Why isn't it your why wouldn't you say, okay, we have an issue here. I need to talk to both of you. Let's all have a
Exactly.
meeting. And then
Exactly.
you the one getting the big bucks, girl. You know,
handle your business.
handle your supervisory business, your managerial business. So you know, those are the things that I think that happen in corporate America, and it's the reality for many people in our audience, the corporate detox audience. It's unfortunate, but it is a reality.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So and but the reality also, unfortunately, is the reality of job losses, because
Mhm.
and you can speak more to this, Ayana, in terms of some of the things that the information that you came up with. There are crazy amounts of job losses right now in the US.
Yes. T, I think both of us have talked about how you have, I think last year over 300,000 women, black women in particular, lost their jobs. Black
Mhm.
over 300,000. That's over 250,000 black women lost their jobs in 2025. Just in that last quarter.
Right.
Lost
Right.
their jobs.
Right. Gone. Job
Gone.
gone. A
Gone.
lot of these are federal cuts.
A lot of these are federal cuts because they came
D
when they came in, they came for our necks.
DEI. They came straight for our necks. Okay.
DEI
Straight.
and AI.
Yes. DEI and AI. Not the DEI
So,
hires. The problem is the DEI hires are over everybody.
well, yeah, and then the DEI hires, they weren't the people who they thought were getting DEI hired, which was us. We weren't getting DEI hired.
Exactly.
It benefited
Exactly.
people.
Exactly.
We just helped people get what they should have got, and then they cut it because they thought it was us. But anyway, that's a whole nother political
Another topic.
question.
We'll
Yeah,
deal with that one
we
again
got to touch
next
that one
time.
some other time.
Right.
But
We'll come
I
back with
mean,
you on that one.
that's a huge number. And I know, Tanisha, you have stats from I think February, and then also stats about the black men in and also rounding out some more info on black women. I think so. I mean, but this is a lot of people, and some of you all that lost those jobs may be on here. You may
Right.
be part of the detox crew.
Exactly. Like
So
it's involuntary.
yeah,
Involuntarily corporate detox.
involuntarily corporate detoxing. But if you are in that scenario, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, subscribe to this YouTube channel, because we are a safe space to talk about corporate and the things you went through, and look at this moment as a moment to heal. Now, we still need our checks, but there are even things you can do to continue to get you some coins going, even in this hour of stress. So at some point that will come up in this podcast as well. Go with us, come with us, become a part of the detox crew. And I'm gonna call it the CDC, the corporate detox crew.
Okay.
Come on in the room, honey, and let's help each other heal. Because Tanisha and I still healing. We
We
still
are.
healing.
We still healing. We still have anxiety. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's a lot. And I think a lot of the corporate detox crew can relate to this. And this is the
Mm-hmm.
reason why we started this.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that there are people who are dealing with this. And as you mentioned, Ayana, with the number of job losses, you got more than 300,000 Black women, right? Lost their
Mm-hmm.
jobs in 2025. You got more than 560,000 Black men have lost their jobs since October. That's a lot of that. Yeah.
When you sent me this article,
Yes.
look at dude. He looked like they done took me through there, and not in a good
Exactly.
way.
Exactly. When you
Men
look
are
at those,
defined by what they do
right.
and how much they make.
Yes.
Tanisha,
Those numbers are crazy.
yes, when you sent this to me this month, I was like, what?
Yes.
Over 500,000 Black men have lost their jobs in 4 months.
The
What is it
numbers
going to
are
look like
crazy.
by the end of this year?
Households being affected is crazy with the number of Black men and then Black women who have lost their jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then even also too, just in what February alone, more than like 92,000 job cuts. Like
Yes.
this thing is, I mean, it's a all across the board issue. Now, of course, we know when everybody else get a cold, we catch the flu, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Definitely.
so we're always the first, and and as Black women, you and I both, who have been on the side of job losses,
Mm-hmm.
we can tell you confidently, right? We can tell you
Mm-hmm.
confidently it's not fun. And look at these numbers. These numbers that Ayana is pulling up is crazy. Black women are suffering, bearing up the biggest unemployment losses.
Mm-hmm.
This is according to who is this
This is
according
the
to?
Economic Policy Institute.
Yes. These are not good numbers.
Mm-mm.
They're not good.
And Tanisha, I think, and this is from 2000 to 2025.
Right.
2000 to 2025. But Tanisha, I think in this current like whole wave of job losses, I think it's not hitting us the way that it may be hitting other Black women because one, we was already out here in these streets.
We'd already lost our jobs.
We already lost our jobs. We've been out here in these streets since 2023, 2024, 2023. So we didn't feel it the way other people felt. We felt it more in trying to secure new work, trying to secure new corporate contracts and stuff like that. As contractors, we primarily work contract roles, but still, different people are feeling it in different ways. So these numbers are crazy. 55.7% for Black women in 2025.
Those numbers, and I don't want nobody to go through. I'll be honest with you. I don't want nobody to go through some of the things that we both collectively have gone through. And with us being in tech, okay, at one point the money was moneying, but it stopped moneying in about 2020, 2024. It stopped
moneying
because it stopped moneying.
Yeah.
And we both being in tech, we're victims of that. So it's like I wouldn't wish these numbers on nobody. Right? I mean, maybe my worst enemy. Yeah, it's a few people I would wish.
I don't know about wishing on them, cause honey, I want folks to be able to eat and pay their bills.
Yeah, I get it.
On my door.
I get it, but now if they didn't want me to eat and pay my bills, then that's the only thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's something else too. That's something else
for those people. But I get what you're saying. I don't wish job losses and job losses and this current economy and this current job market is tough out there. They're saying it takes on average 8 months to find a new job, and that's if you're lucky.
That's if you're lucky,
right?
Because even like looking at this, Tanisha, 61% of Black men, 61%, employment to population ratio, 61% for Black men. Black women is 55.7%. AAPI women these are Pacific Asian and Pacific Islander women. They are at 57.6%. Hispanic women are at 56.4%. And white women, they even in the 50 percentile. They in there with us. 54%.
That's the crazy thing about it. I think that, people are so busy talking about DEI. And we know that white women are the biggest benefactors of DEI. Let's call it what it is, first of all, number one. Number two, like you said, they in the unemployment line right with us.
Right there with us. Y'all they better start voting in best interest.
Right.
Better start voting because Black women ain't here to save everybody like we used to be.
We are not here to save everybody. Unfortunately, we were amongst the first with these job cuts. And it's sad to say. And we're managing and dealing with it. And it's a new corporate reality for many of us. But speaking of corporate reality, Ayana, like, what do you think, like, going back, and when you think about the things that we have been taught, and the things that are still taught, work hard.
Yep.
You'll get rewarded in your salary, bonuses, performance, and
That's
your raises. Bullshit.
Bull.
Bullshit. Loyalty. If I am loyal to this job, you will be loyal to me.
Bull.
We know that's a lie.
All the way. A lie, the truth ain't nowhere in it.
A lie from the pit of hell. What else? Being fulfilled at your job means you will having success at your job. I'm sorry, means that you will be fulfilled.
That's a lie.
That's another lie. What else? Hiding who you are.
Code switching, baby. Let me tell you, I got to jump in on this one, Tanisha. Your girl, y'all probably like, this lady loud. She ain't using her. She was supposed to be a strategist and a writer. She talking all kind of crazy. She talking. Look, I decided in 2023, I am done code switching. Code switching messes with your mental health. Code switching will have you and pretending to be someone that you are not, going along to get along, to make the people feel comfortable. They got laws on the book about hair now. Because folks feel uncomfortable with our natural hair. Guess what? Y'all can kick rocks and miss me with that. I am no longer the mental stress, and we don't think about the mental stress it puts on someone. From the time you're in college trying to get an internship, corporate internship, to the time you retire, you are now coming in here being untrue to yourself.
Right.
That's a heavy weight. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I had to.
No. You didn't cut me off, not at all. But you're right. And to your comment, it is a heavy weight. And a lot of us, I think, we're dealing with anxiety, we're dealing with depression, we're dealing with, just poor mental health because of it. Right. That's the other part of the corporate detox. And this is why this is why it's bigger than just us.
Right.
Because I think that, there are a lot of people who are suffering. And I think that we both can collectively look back now and see, like, yeah, that wasn't a good situation. Or this did not affect my mental health the best. Or perhaps this situation I suffered, my mental health suffered because I was in a job that I hated, and maybe I was crying in the parking lot
every night.
Or maybe I'm sick. Listen, my stomach sound like Timberlands in the washing machine, in the dryer.
Yeah.
Sunday night, because I don't want to go to work on Monday. The stress.
That's stress.
And thinking that, and of course also the stress of, like, I need this money to make these bills. I may be treated horribly, but I need this money. And the feeling of, like, not having the options that you want. And having, families, responsibilities, yourself, financial responsibilities. It's a lot, but I think that there's a hidden cost that we pay, right? Like the whole thing of your self-worth being tied to productivity. Now, I can admit, I hate to admit it, but I have been the one working vacations, right?
Well,
bringing my laptop on that vacation, because at the time I was a contractor, paid very well now, but no vacation time. So I don't work, I don't get paid.
I'm a witness.
I'm going to the beach. I'm going to the beach with my family. My laptop is in the bag. Okay.
Laptop
I'm in the pool with my laptop.
Or in the hospital. Supposed to be getting seen about, but you're trying to get a laptop so you can get on a meeting.
Because you gotta stand up at 9 a.m.
Yes. You might be laying down, but you better be in this stand up.
I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny, but when you look back now, it's wild. The things that we went through, you know?
The things that we went through, and then owning some of the responsibility of it all, because we do have to own our part that we played in it.
Yes.
Not setting the boundaries that we should have set. And we're going
Right.
to talk about that. That's next episode, Tanisha. We're going to talk about setting boundaries.
Yes. We have got to talk about setting boundaries because, baby, then people will play in your face
They will play in your face.
every time. You got to check them right then.
Boundaries, personal boundaries. Draw a line in the sand, draw a box around you, and tell them to get out your business.
You have to check them right then and let them people know I'm not the one to be played with. I'm not the one or the two, okay? Baby, I'm not the one or the two. So find you somebody else to play with. And I hate to be like that. No, I don't. I'm not gonna say that I hate to be like that. You have got to instill boundaries in people because they will work you to death, literally. You will have gotten a toe tag and they like, well, when are we going to replace? They will have that job.
Well, that job gonna be listed for you before they move your body out of the building.
Exactly. Oh, well, she's no longer with us. Oh, well, we need to replace her. So you have to look out for you because corporate America is not going to look out for you.
You are a seat filler. You are a person in a seat. You have value as long as they can use you. Once they are tired of you, you are gone. Who is that? We need to look up these stats and maybe we can bring them next week, Tanisha. But statistics on, I think Amazon was laying off so many hundreds of thousands of employees and replacing them with AI bots. I think the same thing is happening over in Google.
Yes.
So clearly they replacing us with machines. They found a new way to replace corporate people with machines. It's different from when they used to send our jobs overseas in the first tech collapse back in 2007, 2008. They sent our jobs overseas. Now they are making our jobs machine-driven jobs.
They really are. And it requires, I think, because with that in mind, with AI in mind, it requires people to think about things totally differently. Because if you believe the numbers say that like 50 to 60% of jobs will be cut and eventually to be replaced by AI. And as you mentioned, we're seeing it with Amazon. We're seeing it with Google. We're seeing it with these big tech companies who just last month announced hundreds of thousands of job cuts planned for 2026. And they're cutting corporate white collar jobs and blue collar. Like you said, Amazon, they're like, look, we don't need you to be to pack these deliveries. We have AI to do it.
Yes. Everybody can get it, is what they saying. They not having no respect of person. Your color don't mean nothing. Your nationality don't mean nothing. Everybody can get it, is what they saying. Y'all can get this pink slip.
Because they're saying we got Chat GPT, we got Claude, we got Perplexity,
we got all the things.
Gemini,
all of it. But the thing is, what I think Tanisha and I found ourselves in a situation where we were grieving our role. We were grieving who we were as corporate people, because a lot of times, I said it earlier, but people think men are defined by the work they do, but women are also defined by the work they do. Absolutely. We take a lot of pride in the work that we do, the careers we built for ourselves. So when we find ourselves in a season of having to transition, we have to detox from the 9-to-5 structure. That's a reality check. We have to detox from the whole desire and feeling like to be productive, we've got to be on and we got to be going and going and going and going. You got to detox from that, baby, because out here in these streets, that's not going to work, especially in the day and age we live right now. Truer words have never been spoken, Dan. You have got to have more than one stream of income to survive.
You do. You really do. You really have to have multiple, because where one goes down, the other one goes up, and you can do the next one. And you're right. And we had even had this conversation before we got on this call, because I was laughing and saying you had told me that you were having some technical difficulties, right? And we'd agreed on the time. And I was like, girl, it's not corporate. We don't have a 9 a.m. stand-up.
We don't know about a clock.
Right.
We on our own clock. But even our own clock, we being hard on ourselves, even though we on our own little clocks.
Right.
We do what we want to do. We still being hard on ourselves as if we are in a corporate
in a
setting, and
corporate environment.
everything got to be perfect and pretty, and it don't have to be that way. So release yourself from the need to be, from the need to always be on. Detox
That's
from that.
detox. It's hard for me. Not it's hard for me even now because sometimes I even feel the same way. Like my productivity, my work is tied to my self-worth. Is tied to my
Mhm,
productivity and how many hours am I putting in? How much work am I
mhm,
doing? And thinking like I'm a robot or a machine, and it's tough because you're literally relearning everything that we were taught.
mhm.
And
So
work is all we know.
work is all we know, but now we work differently. And that's something else you will learn on the corporate detox. How can we now take all this experience that we've accumulated over all these years and now do it different?
Do it differently.
And we're going to share our do it different. You see one of my do it different testimonies back here. Tanisha got her own do it. She over there and living the Parisian life and her own do it differently testimony. So we're going to share all of that in the corporate detox. So stay with us. Continue to follow us with this on the Corporate Detox Podcast so y'all can get this corporate tea and become part of the Corporate Detox crew so you can get your relief and get your mind right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I'm so excited about this podcast,
Me
Ayana.
too,
Corporate
girl.
Detox Podcast. It's like,
We finally
yeah,
got it together. We finally got it together.
we got it. We got it. It took us a minute, but we here.
But we
Okay.
here. We here and we out here.
We
All
here.
right. So Tanisha, any additional party
No,
words? I hope I didn't jump too far down the thing.
no,
Down
I
on
mean,
the list. But again, we don't know about the time, but I was
right. No, I think you covered it all. And I think that's a perfect ending to this. We'll see you all next week. Stay tuned to next week's episode of the Corporate Detox. Bye, y'all.
Woo, girl, we did it, didn't we?
Yes.
We did it. Come and stop recording.